The office break room, lunchtime. The room is small but cozy, with a few tables and chairs, a fridge, and a coffee machine humming softly. Jackson pours coffee into a mug as MIA enters, glancing over her shoulder to ensure no one followed her. She approaches Jackson with a playful grin. MIA, whispering, "Another week, another $1. Jackson, whispering back, "And another secret to keep." They both chuckle, careful not to draw attention. MIA, whispering, "I still can't believe we're doing this." Jackson, whispering, "Me neither. But it's worth it, isn't it?" Mia nods, a small smile playing on her lips. MIA, low voice, "Sneaking around like this makes me feel like we're spies in some cheesy action movie." Jackson, smirks, "If we are, I'm definitely the suave double agent." MIA, teasing, "Please. You're more desk agent with a headset." They both laugh softly, standing a little too close for two, just co-workers. Jackson hands Mia the mug of coffee he just poured, as if it was for her all along. Jackson, "Cream and 2 sugars, just how you like it." MIA, raising an eyebrow, thoughtful. "I could get used to this undercover perks package." They lock eyes for a moment longer than necessary. Time seems to pause. The sound of the door handle turning snaps them back to reality. They both step away from each other, like magnets repelling. Enter Cole, a nosy coworker with an ever-present energy drink in hand. He eyes them suspiciously as he walks in. Cole, grinning, well, what do we have here? Whispered conversations and shared coffee. Huh? MIA. Coolly, relax, Cole. Not every conversation is a conspiracy theory. Jackson grins. Yeah, sometimes it's just Monday morning misery, man. Cole chuckles, shaking his head as he grabs a bottle of water from the fridge. Cole, sure. But I've got my eye on you too. I've seen rom-coms, He leaves, winking as he exits. Mia exhales a relieved breath, and Jackson glances at her, a smile tugging at his lips. Jackson whispers, "You think he knows?" MIA whispers back, "Please." Cole thinks every woman who looks at him is secretly in love with him. Jackson grins, "Lucky for him, it's not true." MIA, mocking, "Lucky for me, you mean?" They share another quiet laugh, and Mia nudges Jackson playfully before walking out of the room. Jackson watches her leave, his smile lingering as he takes a sip of his own coffee. After-hours office, late night, ***. Office night. The office is dimly lit, quiet except for the soft hum of the air conditioning. Most of the desks are empty, but at one, MIA sits, typing away on her laptop. Her face is illuminated by the glow of the screen. Jackson enters quietly, carrying a takeout bag. Jackson, burning the midnight oil. Huh? Mia looks up, surprised but happy to see him. MIA, someone's gotta meet these deadlines. You didn't have to come back. Jackson holds up the bag, brought dinner. Thought you'd appreciate it. He sets the bag on the desk, and Mia peeks inside. MIA, tacos? You do know the way to a girl's heart. Jackson grins, I know more than that. Mia smiles, but her eyes soften as she looks at him. She sets her laptop aside, and they sit together, unpacking the food. For a moment, it's just them, no coworkers, no office politics, no pretending. Just two people sharing tacos at night. MIA, serious tone, do you ever think about what happens if people find out? Jackson pauses, all the time. MIA, and Jackson, and I'd rather have this us than worry about what people think. Mia looks at him, her gaze searching his face, as if weighing his words. Finally, she nods. MIA, yeah, me too. They share a quiet moment together, sitting side by side. Their hands brush against each other, and this time, neither of them pulls away. Team meeting Wednesday morning. Conference room day. The room is crowded with employees seated around a long glass table. The team leader, Mr. Henderson, an older, gruff man with glasses, is reviewing the quarterly goals. Jackson and Mia sit across from each other, maintaining a professional distance. Their eyes meet briefly, and Jackson raises an eyebrow like he's telling a silent joke. Mr. Henderson Moving on to our next point, deadlines. I know some of you have been working late nights to catch up. Big shout out to Mia for putting in extra hours. Everyone claps politely, and Mia offers a small smile, glancing at Jackson. Cole leans over to another coworker and whispers loudly, "Cole, wonder who's been keeping her company. Late nights get lonely, you know?" Several people snicker. Jackson shoots Cole a sharp look, but Mia keeps her face neutral. Mr. Henderson. "Cole, since you've got so much to say, maybe you'd like to review the budget allocations for us next week." Laughter ripples through the room, and Cole sinks into his chair, grumbling. Jackson hides a grin, glancing at Mia, who gives him a small, triumphant smirk. The coffee shop, Friday lunchtime. The midday sun casts a warm glow on the bustling street. Small metal tables line the sidewalk, most of them occupied by people on their lunch breaks. Jackson and Mia sit at a table near the edge, their coffee cups steaming between them. The faint aroma of roasted beans fills the air. Jackson grins, "Remember when we first met?" Mia smirks, blushing, "Of course. You walked in like you owned the place. So full of yourself." Jackson chuckles, confident. Mia, "Not full of myself, confident." Mia raises an eyebrow. "Sure, keep telling yourself that, Mr. Confidence." They both laugh, their eyes meeting with that easy familiarity that comes with knowing someone deeply. Jackson leans forward, resting his arms on the table, his grin softening. "Jackson, and you? You were so quiet, like you were watching everyone figuring them out." "Mysterious, I'd say." Mia shrugs, observant. "Big difference." Jackson nods, "And now look at us. The arrogant guy and the mysterious girl, partners in crime." Their laughter fades into a quiet moment. Mia looks down at her cup, tracing the rim with her finger. Her eyes flicker up to meet Jackson's. "Mia, softly, I'm really glad we found each other, you know?" Jackson gently takes her hand. "Me too, Mia." They stay like that for a moment, just them, the world outside their little bubble moving on without them. Then, a couple walks past, laughing loudly, their hands intertwined. Mia's eyes dart to them. Reality seeps back in. She quickly pulls her hand away, her gaze shifting around the street. Mia whispering, "We should get back." Jackson nods, glancing at the couple. "Yeah." They gather their bags, Jackson tossing a few bills on the table. As they walk away, their shoulders brush, and for a fleeting second, it looks like he's about to reach for her hand. But he doesn't. They disappear into the lunchtime crowd. Office elevator, Friday afternoon. The soft hum of the elevator fills the space. Mia and Jackson stand side by side, eyes forward. The doors slide shut, and the small, enclosed space becomes a world of its own. Mia sneaks a glance at Jackson, and he glances back. Their eyes meet, and a playful smile tugs at the corners of his mouth. Jackson, quietly, 30 seconds of privacy. What do we do with it? Mia smirks. We do absolutely nothing. That's the smart choice. Jackson leans in slightly. Since when have we been smart? Mia tilts her head, pretending to think, her eyes still on him. Never. Jackson, exactly. He shifts slightly toward her, and for a split second, it seems like he might kiss her. Mia's breath catches. The elevator slows. The moment shatters as the ding of the elevator echoes. They both step apart quickly, their faces composed as the doors slide open. Cole enters, grinning like he's caught them doing something they shouldn't. Cole, smirking, well, look at you two, all quiet and suspicious. This elevator ride awkward, or just me? Mia, coolly just you, Cole. Jackson crosses his arms, but thanks for making it more awkward. Cole laughs, leaning against the wall, eyes flicking between them like he's watching a reality show. The ride continues in silence. Cole's grin grows wider as if he's figured something out, but he says nothing. The elevator dings again, and they all step out. Mia and Jackson exchange a quick glance before walking off in opposite directions. Office hallway. Monday morning. Monday morning bustle. Employees file in, juggling coffees and chatting. Jackson walks down the hallway with his phone in hand, scrolling through emails. He spots MIA walking toward him from the opposite end of the hall. She sees him too, and for a brief moment, their eyes meet. Her lips twitch into a small smile, but she quickly suppresses it. Jackson's gaze softens, but he plays it cool. Cole, calling out, "Morning, lovebirds." Jackson freezes. Mia's eyes widen. Other coworkers glance their way, confusion on some faces, amusement on others. Cole stands at his desk, grinning like a cat who's found the canary. MIA, raising an eyebrow, "Talking to yourself again, Cole?" Cole laughs. "Nah, just saying what everyone's thinking. You two are always sneaking off together." Very suspicious. The air tenses. Jackson tilts his head, giving Cole a look that's equal parts amusement and warning. Jackson, calmly, "You know what's suspicious, Cole? The fact that you spend more time watching us than doing your own work." Cole laughs. "Touché, Jackson. But I'm just saying, if there's a betting pool for who's secretly dating, I'm putting my money on you too." The surrounding coworkers laugh, and Jackson uses it as cover. He steps forward, his grin sharp but friendly. Jackson grins, "And that's why you're always broke, Cole. Bad bets." The laughter grows louder, and Cole holds up his hands in surrender. "Cole, all right. You win this round." Cole walks off, still grinning. The moment of tension passes, but Jackson glances at Mia. She gives him a small nod before turning toward her desk. The office, late afternoon. The office is dimly lit, most of the lights turned off as the sun begins to set. The glow of computer screens casts a faint blue hue across the room. Jackson sits at his desk, his chair slightly reclined, eyes half closed. MIA sits nearby, furiously typing on her keyboard. Jackson, stretching, long day. MIA, yawning, "Tell me about it." A beat of silence settles over them. The soft hum of computers and the occasional click-clack of keys fill the space. Jackson sits forward, his eyes on Mia, watching her as if he's trying to memorize every detail. Finally, he speaks, his voice low and deliberate. Jackson, whispering, "I wish we could just be ourselves." MIA pauses, glancing up, "Me too." Their eyes lock, the air between them charged with the kind of tension that feels like it could snap at any second. Slowly, Jackson rises from his chair, crossing the short distance between them. He kneels by her chair, their faces inches apart. Time slows as he leans in, his eyes flickering from her eyes to her lips. Mia doesn't move away. Their breaths mingle as their lips finally meet in a slow, lingering kiss. Her hand gently rests on his cheek, their eyes closed, the world forgotten. The clunk of the office door opening echoes like thunder. "Boss," OFF screen, yelling, "Jackson." "Mia, I need that report by tomorrow morning." They jolt apart like two kids caught stealing cookies. Jackson stumbles backward, bumping into his chair. Mia spins around to her seat, eyes locked on her screen, fingers pretending to type at lightning speed. Their faces are flushed, hearts pounding like drums. Jackson, nervously, eyes straight ahead. "Why yes, boss. First thing tomorrow." "Boss," OFF screen, "Good. Don't stay too late." The distant sound of the boss's footsteps retreating echoes down the hall. Silence fills the room again, but it's a different kind of silence now. Heavier, filled with unspoken words and the echoes of what almost happened. Mia slowly turns to Jackson, still catching her breath. "MIA, whispers, "Close call." Jackson, nodding, rubbing the back of his neck, very close. They glance at each other, lips curling into small, guilty smiles. Then, without another word, they turn back to their screens, fingers tapping keys but hearts still racing. The office printer room, next morning. The small, cramped printer room is lined with shelves full of paper, binders, and office supplies. The printer hums, spitting out pages one at a time. MIA stands in front of it, arms folded, eyes on the pages as they slowly emerge. The door swings open, and Jackson steps in, closing it behind him. Jackson, grinning, printing out our escape plan? MIA, smirks. If I was, you'd be the first to know. Jackson steps beside her, close enough for their arms to brush. Neither of them moves away. She glances at him, out of the corner of her eye. MIA, whispering, about last night. Jackson nods, yeah. MIA, frowns, we can't keep doing this. It's too risky. Jackson leans in, too risky to feel something real? Mia's breath catches. She turns to face him, her eyes scanning his face like she's searching for a reason to walk away, but can't find one. MIA, softly, you're making this harder than it needs to be. Jackson grins, that's kind of my specialty. Her lips twitch into a small smile, but she shakes her head, stepping back. The printer spits out the last page. Mia gathers the stack and hugs it to her chest like a shield. MIA, we can't, Jackson. You know that. Jackson leans in, eyes serious now, I know. But tell me you don't want this and I'll stop.
Right now.
Her breath hitches, her eyes flickering down to his lips for just a second before she turns away, gripping the papers tighter. MIA, quietly, I'll see you at the meeting. She walks past him, eyes forward, head high. Jackson watches her leave, letting out a slow, steady breath, his hands on his hips. He lets out a quiet laugh, the kind you make when you know you're already in too deep. MR Henderson. Serious, watch your back. People love a scandal. Jackson nods once, his face unreadable. They walk out of the office together, side by side but not touching. The door clicks shut behind them. The office hallway. Jackson and Mia walk down the hall, their footsteps echoing on the polished floor. They walk in silence for a few beats. MIA. Quietly, do you think he believed us? Jackson, glancing over at her, doesn't matter if he did. Perception is everything. They reach a small alcove near the break room where they pause, hidden from view. Jackson exhales slowly, running a hand through his hair. MIA. Sighs. This is exhausting. Every look, every glance, it's like we're being watched. Jackson leans against the wall. We are being watched. People love to see others mess up. Makes them feel better about themselves. Mia leans next to him, their shoulders touching lightly. MIA. So, what do we do? Jackson looks at her for a long moment, eyes scanning her face. He tilts his head, like he's about to say something bold. His voice is soft but firm. Jackson. We stop hiding. Mia blinks, caught off guard. MIA. What? Jackson. Serious. We stop hiding. We do our jobs, keep things professional here, but outside of this place, we live our lives. Together. No sneaking around, no looking over our shoulders. Mia stares at him, her lips parting as she processes his words. Slowly, her gaze shifts from doubt to determination. MIA. Smirks, bold move, Mr. Jackson. Jackson. Grins. Bold moves are kind of my thing. They stand there for a moment, smiles slowly growing. But as footsteps echo from around the corner, they immediately straighten up and step apart like magnets with reversed polarity. Cole appears, holding a coffee cup, eyes flicking between them like a predator sniffing out prey. Cole grins, cozy little chat? Jackson grins back, unfazed, yep. Got a problem with that, Cole? Cole's smile falters just a bit, and he shakes his head. Cole, not at all. Just keeping an eye out. He walks away, but his eyes stay on them a second too long. When he's gone, Mia lets out a slow breath. MIA. I really hate that guy. Jackson smirks, I know. But he's watching us now. Let him see. Mia raises an eyebrow, her lips twitching into a grin. MIA, you're not afraid of much, huh? Jackson grins, just losing you. Mia's smile fades into something more real, more sincere. She steps closer, eyes locked on his. MIA. Softly, you won't. They stand like that for a moment longer before the sound of the office printer kicks on, breaking the spell. Jackson steps away, but his eyes stay on her a second longer before he walks back to his desk. For the first time in a while, Mia doesn't feel like she's being watched. She feels like she's in control. The office is a hive of activity. Phones ring, Keyboards click, and the soft hum of conversation fills the space. The sun pours in through large glass windows, casting golden light across the modern office furniture. Jackson and MIA sit at their desks, eyes focused on their screens, trying to look as normal as possible. But their movements are a little too precise, too careful. The air between them feels heavier today. Coworker, Sarah, loudly from across the room, "Hey, have you heard the latest office gossip?" The entire room seems to shift. People glance up from their desks, eyes filled with curiosity. Jackson stiffens, fingers pausing mid-typing. Mia's eyes flicker up from her monitor to meet Jackson's gaze. They share a silent exchange of panic. MIA, whispering, "Oh no." Jackson, whispering back, eyes still on his screen, "Just ignore it." Sarah, grinning, "I heard 2 people in this office have been getting really close after hours. You know what I mean." Several coworkers chuckle. Another coworker, Cole, leans back in his chair, eyes trained directly on Jackson and Mia, his smirk too wide to be innocent. Cole grins, "Yeah, it's always the quiet ones. Right, Jackson?" More laughter erupts. Jackson's jaw tightens, but he forces a smile as he types a little more aggressively. Mia's eyes dart around the room like she's mapping out all possible escape routes. MIA, muttering, "I'm going to kill him." Jackson, under his breath, "Not before I do." The laughter dies down as Mr. Henderson, the boss, walks in holding a cup of coffee and a clipboard. Everyone straightens up instantly, faces turning back to their screens. Henderson stops by Jackson and Mia's desks, glancing between them. Mr. Henderson, "Jackson, Mia, I want to see you both in my office. Now." The silence is deafening. Every head in the office turns to watch them like they're characters in a live-action soap opera. Cole raises his eyebrows, his smirk never fading. Coworker, Sarah, muttering to another coworker, "Oh, busted." Jackson and Mia stand slowly, exchanging one more glance, this one laced with fear. Boss's office, moments later. The office is small but neat, with bookshelves lined with management books and motivational quotes framed on the wall. The blinds are half closed, dimming the room. Mr. Henderson sits behind his large mahogany desk, flipping through a few files. Jackson and Mia stand in front of him like students called to the principal's office. Mr. Henderson sit. They both sit, hands folded in their laps, glancing at each other briefly before looking straight ahead. Mr. Henderson, not looking up, "You two have been doing good work lately. The Collins pitch was a success, and I'm hearing positive feedback from the client." MIA, cautiously, "Thank you, sir." Mr. Henderson, finally looking up, "But that's not why you're here." Jackson and Mia both freeze. Henderson's gaze is sharp, calculating. Mr. Henderson, "Look, I'm not going to dance around it. Rumors are like weeds. They spread fast and choke everything around them. I don't care about gossip, but I do care about productivity and professionalism." He leans forward, resting his elbows on his desk, eyes locked on both of them. Mr. Henderson, "So, I'll ask this once, and I expect a straight answer. Is there anything going on between you two that I need to be aware of?" Mia's eyes widen. Jackson's gaze darts to her before he straightens up, face calm but serious. Jackson, firmly, "No, sir. Nothing that affects our work." Henderson narrows his eyes, leaning back in his chair. He lets the silence hang for an uncomfortably long time. Mia grips her hands tighter in her lap, barely breathing. Mr. Henderson, sighs, "Good. Keep it that way. I don't need HR knocking on my door about workplace relationships." "Got it?" MIA and Jackson simultaneously, "Got it, sir." Mr. Henderson, dismissed. They stand and head for the door. But just as Mia's hand touches the doorknob, Henderson's voice calls out again. Mr. Henderson. "Oh, and Jackson?" Jackson stops, glancing back.